Coming up on Point News, a heavily traveled city bridge is getting a major makeover. Point News was there as the city officials unveiled the plans.
Forget dorm life. See how new student housing options downtown are really taking off.
Point News gets inside access to the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium. See what new changes visitors can expect when the gates reopen. Point News starts now.
Live from the Point Park University Broadcast Center in downtown Pittsburgh, this is Point News.
Good afternoon, I'm Kyle Anthony.
And I'm Megan Barney. Pittsburgh Greenfields Bridge is in need of repair, so much so, the bridge was featured in an episode of 60 Minutes.
Now the city and community are moving forward to replacing the span. Point News reporter Tyler Jeske has more.
We're here at the Greenfield Bridge where plans to replace the 92-year-old bridge have been approved. The bridge connects the Greenfield community with Shenley Park, and residents have been worried about it for years.
I mean, they did build a bridge underneath of it, so how safe can it be?
Drivers who use it regularly voiced their concerns to those in charge of the project. They talked about the safety, how long construction would take, and how much it's going to cost them.
80% of the dollars that we're spending on this project are from the federal government that are coming here to Pittsburgh. 15% of the funding is coming from the Commonwealth and only 5% from the cities.
The major focus for the meeting was the detours involved during the construction, because even worse for drivers, the Parkway East will be closed in both directions for 7 days while crews take down the bridge. But project managers hope drivers can concentrate on the finished project, which should look like this.
It'd be helpful to have more lane for riding your bike, walking, or even just driving your car.
The new deck will be 5 feet wider and will include a 10-foot sidewalk on the downtown side of the bridge only. A 5-foot bike lane will replace the sidewalk on the Squirrel Hill Tunnel side of the bridge.
The bridge is set to be demolished in December of this year with a completion date of May of 2017. Reporting for Point News, I'm Tyler Jeske.
Stay with Point News for continuing coverage on this major story. Next week, Tyler will have a breakdown on other routes you can take during construction.
You may be seeing fewer and fewer students around campus over the next few semesters, but it's not because of low enrollment. Apartment complexes in downtown are quickly taking the place of on-campus housing. Point News reporter Hillary Maglin has the growing trend.
With tuition costs rising each year, most of that money going towards housing, many Point Park University students have elected to look elsewhere in the downtown area for a place to call home. The Carlisle, the Riverview, and the apartments above Market Square have been the homes of Pittsburgh's white collar for the past decade. But with university prices on the rise, college students are on the move. Luxury apartments across the city are quickly taking the place of expensive campus dorms, especially for Point Park students.
There's about 928 students living on campus currently, and that changes and varies throughout the year, but I know towards the end of last semester we've seen kind of a decrease of students moving off campus or just choosing to commute. But I do have some friends and I know started living in the Stanwix apartments. There's other apartments downtown.
Looking to stay close to campus without breaking the bank, several Point Park students have moved into these nearby apartments like the Standard Life building on 4th Avenue, which provides affordable housing exclusively for students.
With the Standard Life apartments, we don't have to pay for utilities. It's all included, which also makes the costs a better option for me.
In past years, most students wishing to live off campus have found housing in Pittsburgh's Oakland neighborhood because of easy access by way of a Playhouse shuttle service. However, the Pittsburgh Playhouse's upcoming downtown move may drive even more off-campus students to apartments downtown.
Right now, students that live in Oakland, especially those who are theater students, say that it's more convenient and more, accessible to go to the Playhouse when they just live right down the street as opposed to hopping on a shuttle and coming downtown. But with placing the Playhouse downtown, I think more students will consider living downtown.
While Point Park officials haven't said for sure, there is a possibility that the campus shuttle to and from Oakland could end once the Playhouse moves downtown, which means more students living in Oakland could make the move too. Reporting for Point News, I'm Hillary Maglin.
The new Point Park University Pittsburgh Playhouse is ready to take center stage in downtown Pittsburgh. The City Planning Commission approved the plans this week despite objections from preservationists urging the city to keep 3 4th Avenue buildings intact where the Playhouse is going to be built. Point Park plans to start construction in March. The Playhouse is expected to open in 2017.
The university's Sports, Art, and Entertainment Management program hosted a career fair this week for students interested in internship and job opportunities. The students came dressed to impress with their resumes in hand as they met with employers from businesses around the Pittsburgh area. In addition to receiving interview practice and free headshots, employers talked to students about what they are looking for in their resumes and the interview process.
To have a want to succeed, you need to show interest, and I feel like you can tell through the resume and through just like a conversation whether or not they're into it or not, whether they're just trying to pass off a resume or whether they actually do want that position.
Receive additional career advice, resume, and interview help by meeting with a career counselor at the Career Development Center. Just call 412-392-3950 or email them at careerdev@pointpark.edu.
Having enough money to fund events has been a major issue for Point Park student government members. The USG officers met Friday with other Point Park Club officers to discuss ways to improve the funding process. They also talked about ways to increase attendance at spring involvement fairs and ways for clubs to work together at events in the future.
We figured out some possible things to do with the budget and the budgeting system that we have now. And we also discussed a couple of other things also concerning the club organizations and event planning and such. So I think that this meeting did a good job. It was important.
It's great to get feedback from them, not only on the concerns that they're having, but the possible solutions that they might be bringing to the table as well.
One idea to help raise more cash is to put money into a giant fund that clubs could use. There will be another officer meeting in a few weeks. Coming up on Point News, we are heading into Valentine's weekend.
But don't expect things to heat up anytime soon. When it comes to the weather, your weekend outlook coming up.
University Wi-Fi causing some major headaches, the problems many students are experiencing, and what you can do about it.
We are a social people. We share our inspiration, wisdom, creations, and memories. We share what makes us laugh and what angers us. Built on the notion of a free flow of ideas, our country thrives on the freedom of speech. Without it, who would watch over our governing powers? And how would we share our history to make a difference for the future? It's this freedom to share that gives us a reason to listen.
Start your morning with City News.
Start your morning with campus news.
Start your morning with political coverage.
Start your morning with fun.
Start your morning with us, only on Daybreak.
Did you know that Point Park has a cheerleading squad?
Don't stop. Don't get it confused.
Not only do our cheerleaders represent Point Park at regional and national competitions, but they also promote spirit and awareness of every sports team on campus. Come to any men's or women's varsity basketball game at home to watch the cheerleaders perform at halftime and cheer from the sidelines from the first jump ball to the final buzzer. Sports not your thing? You can catch the cheer team lead the crowd at the fall and spring pep rallies as well, or at several competitions around Pittsburgh each year. So what are you waiting for? Show the Point Park cheerleaders the support they show you. We know you're wondering what the A-list celebrities are up to.
Well, here at Entertainment on Point, we're wondering too.
Have you heard about James Franco and Seth Rogen's new movie?
No, but have you heard Beyonce's new single?
Did you see what she was wearing on that red carpet?
Honey, that was not cute.
Did you see what happened on Scandal this week?
No, I was too busy keeping up with the Kardashians. No matter what your guilty pleasure is, we've got you covered.
Entertainment on Point. Get to the point of pop culture.
Yeah!
Officials at Monroeville Mall have finalized plans for their new youth escort policy, following last weekend's shooting of 3 people inside the Macy's department store. The policy bars people from younger than 18 from shopping at the mall after 6 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, unless accompanied by an adult 21 years or older. The new rule goes into effect February 27th. 17-year-old Terod Thorne, who is being charged as an adult in connection with the shooting.
We're 5 weeks into the new semester, and computer and Wi-Fi problems on campus are taking a toll on some students. From logging on to staying connected, the list of problems is growing. Point News took those concerns to the experts. Students and staff are tired of the different computer issues. Sophomore Katie McZuzik has been experiencing many glitches while trying to simply log onto the computers.
Every time I try to use a Mac, I have to restart it at least twice. No matter how recently I updated my password, it always prompts me for like a keychain password for Safari and all this stuff.
Other students have been experiencing problems connecting and staying connected to the internet and the Wi-Fi in the dorms. The trouble leaves them wondering why they aren't allowed to have their own routers.
I have friends that have their own router, and I don't know why we shouldn't be able to use our own, because Point Park is always messing up on their Wi-Fi.
Point News asked Assistant Vice President of Information Technology Tim Wilson about the use of routers on campus. He said, quote, "These Wi-Fi solutions are not enterprise solution and can cause interference and security issues." When we asked him about the connectivity issues, he said if students have any problems, just to contact the help desk. So right here on the second floor of Academic Hall is the IT Help Desk Center. Now they are open every day of the week, but Monday through Thursday they are open from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. Wilson says they are working to fix any coverage issues by investigating the locations reported. For Point News, I'm Megan Barney. In addition to stopping by the help desk, students can also email them at helpdesk@pointpark.edu.
The Steelers start negotiating with one of their major stars.
Details coming up in sports.
After shutting down for 6 weeks, the Pittsburgh Zoo is getting ready to unveil some changes. We go inside the gates for a sneak peek.
Here at the Pioneers sideline, we get freshmen involved as quickly as possible so they get the real-world experience on air and behind the scenes to set themselves apart in internships and potential jobs. Blaine, where is that video? I needed it in KeyPro like yesterday.
All right, I got you, Chris. But I had a quick question for you guys.
What do you mean the questions? It's always a question. It's always a... What? Where is he? Blaine! 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 Freshman, you can't find any good ones anymore.
Do you know all the things you can do with your student ID? Along with getting discounts to some of the restaurants around campus. Showing your Point Park ID can net you deals on tickets at theaters in the Cultural District. To check out all the current options, just search Student Discounts on the Point Park University homepage.
An expression, a belief, a symbol, freedom to worship, an unspoken word. To express yourself means standing up for what you believe in. There's a freedom to worship and a freedom to live. To speak never saying a word, to love, to let your voice be heard. The light of your own path. For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
NBC announced that this week they have suspended nightly news anchor Brian Williams for 6 months without pay, following an exaggerated tale from the Iraq War. The story stems from a personal experience Williams had from his time in Iraq in 2003. Williams has been the anchor for the nightly news since 2004.
Comedian turned fake newsman Jon Stewart announced Tuesday he will be leaving The Daily Show later this year. Stewart has anchored the show for more than a decade, starting in 1999. He's won 15 Emmy Awards, and ratings for his show have increased 400% from the year he took over.
Valentine's Day is this weekend. If you're looking for something different than the usual restaurant date, Point News reporter Brittany Loeffner has an idea that will make your sweetheart go wild.
It has been 6 weeks of construction and updates, but the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium is set to reopen this coming weekend on Valentine's Day. The Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium has been closed for its longest time. During the past 6 weeks, the zoo has been busy with updates and new construction.
Aside from repainting and maintenance work, the staff has been busy with updating their Two Oceans tank, a ceiling-to-floor tank with 1,000 fish and 200,000 gallons of water.
We're fixing it up. We're replacing the coral that's in there. We're going to buff and clean the glass so it's all sparkly and shiny for when we open it back up again.
On a regular basis, the aquarium keepers work with the fish so they're familiar with human contact. So when the keepers move them into the holding tanks, there is less stress on the fish.
And one of the things that we always introduce to the animals is to let them know that we're just there to check them. So we taught the fish tactile and lifting them. So we touch them, they don't freak out, they're used to it.
While strolling through the zoo, you may notice construction for a new restaurant. Jambo Grill is set to open by Memorial Day weekend.
Here at the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium, this year we are so excited to announce that we are opening our new Jambo Grill. It's going to replace the Safari Plaza restaurants that were here, Pies and Fries, and offer a wide variety of new foods, such as new daily specials, gluten-free food, made-to-order salads and sandwiches.
The new restaurant will seat approximately 140 people inside and 160 outside. There will also be a huge terrace that will enable visitors to eat while they see giraffes, zebras, cheetahs, and elephants.
We are anticipating it opening Memorial Day weekend, which actually kicks off our summer season, so we're very, very excited.
The zoo will continue its winter hours of 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. through March 31st.
If you're still looking for Valentine's Day gift ideas, this teddy bear might do the trick. Reporting for Point News, I'm Brittany Loffer.
Well, maybe that should have been a polar bear Brittany was standing next to because it's getting colder.
Hillary Maglin is here in studio now with this weekend's weather outlook. And Hillary, it's going to be a frigid one.
It is going to be a frigid one, Kyle. If we're looking at the temperatures just this morning, it was 26 degrees, and by noon it managed to get even colder with 24 degrees. But your home commute is going to warm up a little bit with 27 degrees. And if we look into this weekend, we're going to see 18 degrees tomorrow with a low of 4. And just in time for Valentine's Day, it's going to warm up a little bit with 27 degrees. But don't put your gloves and scarves away yet because it's going to be 7 degrees on Sunday with a low of -3 degrees. So stay warm, guys, and we're going to toss it over to sports with Quinn Lima.
Thank you, Hillary. Point Park men's basketball team has scored its way into the playoffs in the KIAC tournament after an 11-point win over Rio Grande. The Pioneers have 3 games left. You can check out their home games when they play Carlo on the 18th and IU East on the 21st. The Steelers have wasted no time at the end of the NFL season to begin negotiating Ben Roethlisberger's next contract. The contract extension is said to likely keep Ben with the Steelers for the rest of his career. General Manager Kevin Colbert says he believes that Big Ben can still hold his quarterback position for most of the next decade. The Pittsburgh Penguins came into the season with high hopes. They overhauled the coaching staff and front office in the offseason by hiring Mike Johnston as the head coach and Jim Rutherford as the general manager. One thing that's really hurt the Pens this season is the number of games the players have missed. In total, the team has missed 224 man games. We've caught up with some of their Pens fans to get their take on the second half of the season.
They'll kick it up a notch and really put pressure on the Islanders for the division.
I say coin flip. If they can get players healthy, then they can make a good run into the playoffs and hopefully another Stanley Cup.
I think they're going to keep going at the pace they're at. I think they'll finish somewhere between they'll finish in the top 4, and I think that'll put them in a great position moving into the Stanley Cup.
The Penguins have played the greatest as of late and have had a record 4-6 in the last 10 games.
So Hillary, it's going to be a cold one outside this weekend?
It is, unfortunately. It's going to go down to 7, but we do have a little bit of, a warmer day on Valentine's Day for the holiday, so.
Well, I know where I'll be. I'm staying inside my dorm. It's going to be too cold for me to go outside.
Definitely staying inside. I'm not going out in any -7 degree weather.
Well, that does it for this week's Point News. Be sure to join us next Thursday live at 2 p.m.